Hey guys, what's going on? It's Dan, and I just wanted to make a quick, well, actually I imagine this will be a rather long video today. I'm going to be doing a tier list of every Pokemon that we believe is going to be legal since the first Scarlet and Violet rank season is going to be starting. I'm just doing this off the cuff. I've only played a handful of games on Showdown with it, so I'm not going to be explaining too much about each Mon. I'm going to be skipping, obviously, the Legends Arceus Mons like Basculegion here because it's not going to be legal right away, we don't believe. But also the format hasn't been confirmed. We're operating under the assumption that everything but Koraidon and Miraidon will be legal, so I'll be tiering it as such. So if this ends up being the format, I can look back at this in a couple months and realize just how wrong I was on a bunch of things. But without any further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and hop in on it. For our tiers today, we have the S staple of the format tier. We have A, really strong Mon tier. We've got B. We've got could have a niche, and don't use if you want to win for our D tier. Most of the names are pretty self-explanatory. I imagine most things will end up in C, maybe B or D, but S and A aren't going to have as many. So, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and hop in on it. Abomasnow, we've got a Snow Setter, which is the new weather. They're not going to be listed, ranked in order in the tiers either, but we've got the new weather. Snow, it could have a niche, but I don't really see it. It's still a pretty bad typing. I don't think Abomasnow is going to be great. Amoonguss, slam dunk staple of the format. It's going to be on so many teams. It might be the most played Pokemon in the format. Annihilate, it's got the potential stuff with Tandem Mouse going on, plus it has a Final Gambit with 110 HP, I believe, so it can erase most things if you want to put a Scarf on it and do that. It's also just generally bulky and strong. I think it's pretty solid here, so I'm going to put it in a really strong Mon tier. Arcanine is going to be a staple of the format. Armarouge, I'm between B and A with this one. We're starting really strong here. I think with Indeedee, you put it in the A tier because it's going to have Expanding Force, it can set Trick Room, it's decently bulky, so let's go throw it in the A tier for now, even though I don't really believe in the stats all that much. Avalugg, I don't think it's going to get much use, which is unfortunate. I think it's a cool Pokemon, but not great. Azumarill, I'll throw in the B tier for now. I might move that up to A later. It can do a lot of stuff. Belly Drum, Aqua Jet, Play Rough. It's got some good options. Barraskewda could have a niche. I just don't think it's good without Max. Basculegion. You know what? Let's go ahead and add a row below. And let's make this row not in game, just so I don't have to forget about that. Not in game yet. It'll be interesting when it gets in the game. Baxcalibur. I think Baxcalibur is going to be B tier. I don't think it's going to be a format defining or anything, but it can't be burnt. It's got really good stats. Its speed is good to take advantage of on a Tailwind team, and I think it's a great Terra abuser with Steel. Ice does hold it back defensively, so I'm going to leave it in B tier. Beartick got a bunch of improvements this gen, could have a niche. Bellybolt, same thing. I think it could have a niche if the Electromorphosis you're able to abuse at some point. Same with Bisharp. Bisharp has an argument to go up into B tier, but I'm not going to put it there yet. Blissey, if Blissey Stupidity is a thing, I'll just put Chansey there too. If their Stupidity is a thing, they could have a niche, but I don't think it's great. Gastrodon, B tier, I don't think it's going to be one of the top two like format defining tiers. Bombardier, cool ability, horrible stats. I don't think there's a good reason to use it. Braviary. Oh, let's see. Braviary. It could have a niche, but do I think it's B tier with Defiant, Tailwind? It's worse without Max. I'll put it in C for now. Could have a niche, but that could be better later. Same with Breloom. Bronzong, it's between these two. I think it's very strong, but I actually think it gets outclassed a little bit by Armarouge with the role it wants and its other main role, which is Iron Defense Body Presser. There's a different new Mon, Gorgonackle, that I think outclasses it. So I'll put it in B because I think it gets outclassed a little bit by the new Mons, but not a huge amount. Brute Bonnet, big believer. Spore, Rage Powder, base 117 attack, stab, Sucker Punch, Trailblaze if you want to up its speed. I don't think it's going to see as much play as Amoonguss, but I do think it's got some potential both as an attacker and as a support option. Bruxish, C tier, Cacturn. I don't think there's anything I would want to do with the Cacturn. Same with the Camera Up. Titan could have a niche if Snow is good. It's actually probably a little better than Beartic. Might bump Beartic down, but I think the Beartic improvements could leave it here. Same spot for Ceruledge. I get all of these wrong. I think this one's Chien-Pao. I get the names wrong on these still. But Ice Weasel. I think it's really good. I think with the Dragonite core, it's going to be very solid. I'm going to leave it in here. I don't think it's going to be a staple, but I do think you're going to see a lot of it. Chi-Yu, on the other hand, is going to be a staple of the format. This thing is insane. The lowering of special defense, how it pairs with some of the other new mons that are really great. I think it is a staple of the format, so we're going to put Chi-Yu there. Clodsire just doesn't do anything well enough that you want it to. Cloyster, I don't think there's room for skill link stuff in doubles. Coal, okay. Terra Water Coal with Steam Engine could see play doing something. I'm going to put the Corviknight here. I do think Corviknight's going to be a decent bulky Tailwind setter. Iron Defense Body Press, but again, it gets outclassed a little bit. Grognol, don't use. Cyclozar. It could have a niche if setting up with its Shed Tail, I believe it is, the substitute move, ends up being really good. I think it could potentially have a niche, but I don't think that it is slam dunk going to see play, which I guess is what I'm calling B tier, is that I'm pretty sure it will see play. You should expect to see it if you go to a decent tournament. Staple of the format, you should see multiple times if you go to a decent sized format tournament. Doxpun, I love this thing so much, but I don't think it'll see play competitive. Nope. Nope. Ditto occasionally. Dodonzo, I think early it'll... Okay, I'll put it like this. I think it is the Pokemon that is most likely to be like Colossal. It could win the first regional, but I think once it's figured out, it'll be really figured out. So I'm going to leave it in a really strong Mon for now, but might drop it later. Donphan, shouldn't really see play. Dragalge, very, very niche as a Trick Room Sweeper. I'll leave it for here for now, just because Adaptability Terra could be something. Dragapult. Do I think it's a staple? I don't think it's quite a staple. So I'm going to leave it a tier below the staple tier. But I do think it's going to be really strong. I think it's going to be on a lot of teams, but I don't think it's going to be a staple of the format. Same with Dragonite, mostly because it pairs well with Chien-Pao with the Terra Normal extreme speed, while the opponent has lower defenses. Dreadnought, I wouldn't use. Drifblim. There's enough terrain around that you could want it as a Tailwind setter. I don't think it's going to be great at it, but could have a role. Same here, could have a role. Could have a role. Electros. I almost want to put Electros in B, because it has no weaknesses. It's really good with Terra Electric. This might be my first hot take of it. I'm going to put this in B instead of C, because I think it'll actually get a decent amount of play as a Terra Electric discharge user. Ice Cube, I don't really see. Electrode, I don't really see. Spartha, that goes in B tier. Having fake tiers with speed boost, but a fake tiers that does 80 base damage stab, but yeah, I think that has to be in B. Espeon, don't play it. Phalanx, probably not. Farigiraf, B. I think it's a decent Trick Room setter. It prevents Fake Out, so it doesn't need a DD female next to it to set Trick Room effectively. It can do decent damage. Its stats aren't great, but Cudchew and the Prevent Priority Attack ability are both good abilities, so we're going to leave that there. Flamigo, Co-Star. Co-Star probably unlocks something, but I'll put it in C for now because I don't know exactly what it unlocks, so I don't want to quite put it in B yet, but it probably unlocks something. Flapple. Flapple. Yeah, without Max, I don't think so. Same with Flareon. Floatzel's not great. Fluttermane's insane. Staple of the format. One of the best mons in the format, especially next to GU. That's going to deal so much damage. Great. Don't think so. No. I was thinking this thing, because of the Ice Scale's ability, could potentially see a bit of play. If you Terra it, it'll just be a really big special wall. It can set Tailwind, but I don't think so. Gallade, though, could have a niche because I think Sharpness boosts are really good. Garchomp's going to be up here. Terra Ground on it with Earthquake's going to deal a lot of damage. Get rid of a lot of weaknesses. Gardevoir. It could have an niche on Trick Room. I just think it gets outclassed by so much, but I'll leave it there. Garganacl, I think, is a really strong mon. I think it's a Stallbot with Rock or Salt Cure, Iron Defense, Body Press, and Recover, and it's really hard to kill. So I think there'll be some archetypes built around it. I don't know if it'll be a staple, but I do think it will be very strong. Gengar, we'll put in the B tier. Gholdengo. Ooh. Let's take a quick look at Gholdengo. Okay, it can't be statused. It's got really good special attack. Okay, bulk. I think it'll see some play. That might be a hot take, but I think Gholdengo can go up there too. Glaceon, I don't think even if snow teams take off, it's going to be the thing in the snow teams. Glalie, no. Golduck, decent as a rain sweeper, so could have a niche there. Goodra, I'll throw into B tier. Gothitelle, Perish Trap stuff, could be real. Defy could have a niche. It's got Prankster, Parting Shot, and the ability thing. Like Slaking teams might want to use it. Like there's something that could be there. Great Tusk, awesome design. I think it breaks enough teams that it could go into B over C, but it's not going to be as good as Brute Bonnet, and definitely not as good as Fluttermane. Greedent. I guess there's a Belly Drum Trick Room team. Grimmsnarl. I'm gonna put below the staple tier. I kind of want to call it a staple, but I don't know how good Parting Shot's gonna be. The screens are very good. The speed control. I might reconsider Grimmsnarl. I'll leave it in staple for now, but it could just be a really strong mon. Grumpig, nope. Nope. Gyarados, B tier, as Terra Grass, Terra Ground, potential option. Hot take, Hariyama, A tier. Hariyama, Guts, Facade, with normal Terra giving it Stab, does so much damage. Steel Terra, you've got Guts boosted. Stab, Bullet Punch, like there's a lot of things that Hariyama can do. I'm going to leave it in A tier for now, and hot take, I think it's going to be very good. This is competing with Farigiraf. I don't know what's going to be better between Hatterene and Farigiraf. Halucha. Maybe there's an Unburdened set, I don't know what it is. Same with Haxorus under Tailwind team. I think Haxorus is just slightly works Baxcalibur, and I don't know exactly how good Baxcalibur is going to be. Heracross, I don't see it. Secondary Sand Setter, I guess. Slack Off, Curse sets, maybe a niche for it. Honchkrow, I don't see it. Nope. Houndstone, so it's a Ghost type Sandrush user. I'll put it in B tier. It's got some good damage control options with Will-O-Wisp and Snarl, and it can be EV to outspeed Dragapult. It has access to Scary Face and Last Respects, can clean up some stuff late game even if it's weak early game. It feels B tier for now, although I could see it dropping to C in the future. Hydreigon. I gotta put it C tier because a different Pokemon named Roaring Moon exists that I just think is better. It's in DDF set or DDM set Psychic Terrain, but it's not as good as a DDF. But maybe there's a world you want to have a more offensive one. Iron Bundle, B tier or A tier. Let's go A for now. I just think it's very fast. Icy Wind outspeeds Flutter Mane by 1. If you get Icy Wind up, you can actually start doing some stuff against Flutter Mane. Yeah, let's leave it in A tier for now. I think it'll get a good amount of play. Iron Hands, I want to put in S tier. Insane Bulk, especially if you put Assault Vest on it. I think Assault Vest is the best item on it. Maybe you want to boost its attack, but Assault Vest just feels so good. Terra Electric, Terra Fighting, Terra Flying makes a lot of sense. Even Terra Grass with Terra Blast. Like, there's so many things that could be really good with it. I'll leave it as a staple of the format. Iron Jugulus. Don't see it being much better than Hydreigon, but it has Tailwind. There might be some niche use cases for it, so it could have a niche. This thing just really needs Sludge Bomb. Like, if it had Sludge Bomb, it might be B tier, but it doesn't. Iron Thorns. Not a lot of rock types in the format. This one's worse than 2 of them considerably, to the point where I don't see why you put it over them. But it does have a niche as a rock type that beats water types, I guess. So leave that there. Iron Treads. Up out here, it's fast, decently strong. I think it's faster than Grape Tusks. There's some places where it could be used. Steel types are always useful. I'll put it in B for now. Same with Iron Valiant. Its stat spread just isn't great because it's going to have a lower effective base stat total than it should because both its attack and special attack are so high. The special stat might actually be better, but I kind of like the physical move pool on it. I just wish it got play rough, so I'm going to leave it in B for now. Jolteon. I can't put it in D, so I gotta put it in could have a niche, but it's rough to be Jolteon out here. Jumpluff, I don't see it. Kilowattrel. There's a world where this, as a Tailwind setter, is really good because of its wind power ability, and it also has competitive. I don't think it's the best Tailwind setter right now. I'll get to those later, but I do think there's a world where it's good. Another hot take time. Kingambit, really good. Really bulky. You can put AV on it. You can put a lot of things on it. You can give it Defiant. You can give it Supreme Overlord. You got a lot of attacks with it. You can have good coverage even without Terra. And if you do Terra, you can make it pretty tough to kill. Really strong mod. Like, yeah, let's take a look at the Kingambit stats here. 100, 120, 85. That's bulky. It's got 135 attack. You can have Defiant or Supreme Overlord on it. Like, I think it's a thing, even with the low speed. Maybe in Trick Room, maybe out of it. I think there's going to be a team that takes good advantage of it. I'm going to leave it here for now. Cloth, maybe a use case with it. Klefki. It sets Trick Room now, and it does Klefki things like be annoying. So I'll put it in could have a niche, not B yet. I'm realizing right now that there's probably not in DDF if there's just in DDM here, so I'm just going to move that up to a really strong bond to symbolize both of them. Kamala, I don't think so. Definitely not. Okay, Crocodile, ground type Intimidator. 117 attack is just like 5 points too low, but it could have a niche. I don't think so. If Sun wants Lilligant next to Torkoal, yes. Unresisted first impression, small niche. Lucario. I just don't think Lucario does enough. I'm going to put it here. That's probably wrong, but Lucario It probably goes in C, but I just don't think it does anything as well as anything that I have in C tier right now. Lumineon has Tailwind, so it is obviously, yeah, probably not. Lurantis, contrary superpower stuff in Trick Room could be a niche. Luxray, if for some reason we want Luxray instead of Arcanine on a team, maybe it fits types better, it could be a niche. Lycanroc forms, that one with Tough Claws and Cell Rock could be something, the other two not so much. Mabostiff, again, Luxray and Mabostiff are similar. If for some reason you want an Intimidator that's not weak to, like, Rock, I guess, because you don't want Gyarados, Salamence, or Arcanine, maybe you go with one of those two, so I'll put them there for now. Magnezone, decent offensively. Just put it there. Masquerain, this is not the Intimidator you want ever. Tandemaus. Okay, it's got Follow Me, it's got Technician, Population Bomb to give it a 300 power move. I'm going to put it in B tier, but this one I could actually see rise into A tier pretty easily, especially because it has Friend Guard, and you can do like Follow Me Friend Guard stuff too against spread moves. There's some potential on Tandemaus. Medicham, probably not. Meowscarada, I think it's the best of the starters, and it could have a niche. I really want to put it in B because Flower Trick always critting, the moves it has, just put up Band on it. You know what, I've talked myself into it. Moving Masquerada up to B. Mimikyu, another great Trick Room setter. It goes into B tier because I don't think it distinguishes itself, but it has its own niche there. Nope. There. Don't think you want to use Muck. Priority Tailwind. I think it'll get enough play to leave Murkrow in A tier with Priority Tailwind, although I personally think it's B tier. I think it'll get enough play to justify it as a really strong Mon. Noivern could have a niche as a fast Tailwind setter. It's like Kilowattrel. Nope. Why didn't you give me two Indeedee forms? But you gave me two Oinkologne forms. Could have a niche as a much worse Trick Room setter. Don't see this. Ground Immune. Does Pachirisu still get Follow Me? I think it does. It still gets Follow Me. Yeah, with Follow Me, it could have a niche. I don't think it's the best Follow Me user. I think Indeedee and Tandemaus both outclass it, but in one world, in a very similar role. Zero to Hero, Palafin. Finizen and Palafin, great naming conventions. I think they're strong, but I mean, it's just so predictable. 650 base stats though, but very predictable, especially if you lead it. It's going to switch out. You get a free attack into something in that slot, especially if you can predict the switch, what it switches into. The Jet Punch is base 60 power, Water Stab off of 160 attack. Yeah, I think I'll leave it in a really strong mod. That one I could see falling to B. Revival Blessings or pretty strong like physical attack with decent speed. I think Revival Blessing is going to make this an A tier Pokemon. Pelipper, Rain Setter, let's put in B for now. Persian, this one, no. Pikachu, don't think so. Gastrodon, probably B tier. What is this? Is this a Pokemon? Oh, is this the Rabsca? I don't even recognize the picture of Rabsca. Maybe as a worse Revival Blessing Pokemon, it can be there, but I'm not a huge believer. I'm going to say that's Rabsca for now because I can't tell what that is. Is that what Rabsca looks like? I'm very unfamiliar with the Pokemon. Yeah, okay, that's Rabsca. Much worse Revival Blessing, but we're going to put it there just because it has Revival Blessing. Arboliva, okay. Could have a niche on a Trick Room team, also as a Grassy Terrain setter with Seed Sower, and it can actually run Terrain Pulse as a Stab Normal and Stab Grass type attack, which is kind of cool, so I'm going to put it there. It Tatsugiri, gotta put it with Dodonzo because they work together. Glamora could have a niche, it's just worse. Rock poison type. What's the name of that? Nihilego. It's worse Nihilego. But Nihilego was pretty good, so worse Nihilego could still see things. Bramblegast, I believe in a bit more than other people, but I just think it could be a niche thing. As a tailwind, just like Steamroller. Stuff you can do with Sinistea. Quackville, Moxie, you give it the speed boosting thing, you pick up a KO as a switch in, you have +1/+1 life orb or something. It could do something. Quillfish, Intimidate, yeah, I guess. No, I don't guess. Raichu, good support option, don't really see what, without the weakness policy thing, it's going to be doing better than a lot of other things. We'll leave it here for now. This is Rabska's first form. I'm just going to leave that there. Revavroom. I don't really see what it's doing. Maybe a shift key or something, but we're going to throw it in here for now. You know what? No, there could be a niche for it. Steel Poison could do something cool. Riolu, without coaching, don't think it's there. Roaring Moon, absolute staple of the format. Great stats, balanced much more correctly than Iron Valiant. I think Roaring Moon's going to be great. Rotom forms. Okay. We'll put this one in. You probably don't use Fan ever, unfortunately, because I like Fan. Could have a niche. Could have a niche. That's Slowking. I grabbed the wrong thing. B tier. B tier. Slowking. Chilly Reception. Could be a niche for it. Sableye. Could have a niche. Salamence I'm actually going to go up and throw into A tier, which might be a hot take, but Tailwind setter with Intimidate or Moxie. Decent. Physical attack could also be a mixed attacker. Salamence goes in A. Don't think he used Salazzle. Don't think he used Sandaconda. Sandy Shocks is like textbook B tier. Lots of decent things about it. Nothing that's a standout. Pretty unexplored. Don't use that. Scizor, B tier. Terra Steel Bullet Punch is always going to be a threat. Scovillain. I like the design of Scovillain a lot. I wish it evolved one more time. I think this looks like a middle stage, but it's got Rage Powder, it's got Chlorophyll, it can have Stab, fire moves in Sun with Chlorophyll. There's some stuff they can do. I'm going to put in B for now. I would say Screamtail is actually a really good mon, though. Really good bulk, horrible offenses, but good support move. Like every support move you could want on it except for Follow Me. I think it's going to be very strong as a support option. Skylarge's speed just lets it down a little bit from what it wants to do. Like, if it was 30 or if it was like 90 with its signature move that boosts special attack and unaware sack off, then there's some options there because it's got decent bulk, but I think it just could have a niche. Incredibly strong. First impression makes me think that this is B tier with the Slitherwing. Slowbro I think is worse than Slowking, but it could have a niche. Spidops, if there's a worst tier, I'd put it there. Spiritomb I don't think is doing enough. Squawkabilly, even with Intimidate Parting Shot, don't think it's enough. Staraptor could have a niche if we want Final Gambit, and then some decent physical attackers with Intimidate. Staraptor just kicks Squawkabilly out of the metagame. So Widow, don't think so. Definitely not. Sylveon, I love Sylveon. I think I'm going to put it in B tier for now. Terra Fairy, Pixelate, Hyper Voice just scares me, so I gotta put it in B tier at least. Talonflame, probably better because of Gale Wings. Okay, this thing's the really bulky one that's The Bullhead, I think it's a really strong Mon. I don't want to put it in B or S, so I'm going to leave it in A for now. Incredibly bulky, can do some pretty cool things with Ruination, Stally sets, a Snarl. Like, I think I got to put it there. Tinkaton, maybe there's like a fake out like defensive set with it, but its stats just let down so much, even with Gigaton Hammer. Toadscruel, Fast Spore, but Mycelium Might is a horrible ability for it. Torkoal. I'm going to call Torkoal a staple of the format. It might just be a really strong Mon, but I think right now it's going to be an absolute staple. Sun boosting all of the past Paradox forms is really going to improve it, I think. So we're just going to call it a staple of the format for now. Don't use Toxapex. Probably don't use Toxicroak. Is there a world where there's something that you do with Toxtricity? Specs, Overdrive, maybe. No. There's a world where something's there. Tyranitar we're going to call really strong. I don't think it's quite a staple yet. But I do think Sand is going to be the way to fight against potential Sun. And I do think that Tyranitar is just always strong early meta, and you can make it a Ghost type, immune to like fighting type attacks if you want, or you can just improve the Rock Slides. Leave it really strong, but it is probably the closest thing in this tier to just popping straight up here. Umbreon, there's some support sets, some defensive stuff you can do with it. Not in the game yet. Veluza. Okay, what does this thing do? Volton Veluza. Thank you, Water Gym Leader. Okay, Sharpness. Yeah, its stats are just bad. Vespiquen stats are bad. Vivillon stats are bad. Rage Powder. I'm going to put this here. I think it's better than its two Paradox forms, which are here, so I'd put this more towards the top of it. Rage Powder and Quiver Dance, I think, could potentially push this up one. It's got Heat Wave, Bug Buzz. I like Volcarona in the format. I don't know how its play it's going to get, but I think it's decent. This really just gets beaten up at Qian Pao, I think. I gotta put it here because it's not that bad, like that thing is, but... Okay, this is the worst of the four, but I think there's bulky like Leech Seed stall sets that could be a thing on this thing, especially next to the other one. Like these two, I think could work together pretty effectively. So I'm gonna put this one in B tier for now. I think it's the worst of them, but I still think it's playable decently. And Zoroark could have a niche. So yeah, overall these are my thoughts with very little experience in the format. I'm ready to see what I got completely wrong in a couple weeks, especially after San Diego. We might completely revisit this tier list. But until then, what do you guys think I got right and what do you guys think I got wrong? I'd love to hear your thoughts on my overall tier list. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to try and remember to leave this tier maker in the description of the video. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Bye.